Hello, I'm Victoria Najar, author of Tampa Bay Runaway, and I'm here today to talk with you about two Kristin Hannah novels and Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoyevsky. Now, I know you're immediately thinking, what could they possibly have in common? Well, that's why we're talking right now. My question to you is simply this: why do you read a book? You know, with all of the social media, with all the platforms available, all the multitude of apps, but people are still reading books or listening to audiobooks. Why? Well, here's my theory. It's because when you read a story, a really good story, it transports you to a different place. Your mind is relieved completely of everyday concerns and everyday pressures. Reading is such a joy, isn't it? The first novel that I'd like to talk about is called The Women. And The Women is wildly popular, and there's a reason for it. The story centers on the character called Frankie. Now, Frankie has very entitled parents, and she is viewed as just a fixture in the house, the pretty little daughter who really won't amount to much in life. But Frankie has different ideas. Her brother has gone to Vietnam to help fight the war, and she, unbeknownst to her parents, enrolls as a combat nurse. Her journey is incredible. You are there. That's the strength of Kristin Hannah's writing. She does it like no other. You are there with her at night when the engines are roaring overhead and all the sick and wounded, bloodied, broken soldiers are brought in. You're with her as she runs across the field to the copters and to the planes, and her boots don't fit. It was just what they had there at the base. Her feet are in pain and bloodied, and her typical sleep was 3 hours a night, working around the clock. Her confidence grows. She's a skilled nurse, and at the same time, the stressors are incredible. It's heartbreaking for her to see the wounded suffer, and worse, see soldiers die. Frankie meets someone, so there is a love story, and it doesn't end well, all right? We'll just say that. But she continues on, and then the book takes a turn when the war is coming to an end and everyone's coming home. And she finds, much to her dismay, no one believes that there were any women in Vietnam as nurses. And she had earned beautiful awards, and they will not be displayed in the home because that is not something anyone was going to talk about. So her mental anguish becomes crushing. She has post-traumatic stress disorder, which is really disabling her, and you will walk with her through it, and you'll be rooting for her because she's eminently likable. And the story, I don't want to give things away too much, but the story has a very interesting turn as we leave Frankie. Now, the other Kristin Hannah novel, which is called The Four Winds, again, Kristin Hannah is a master at taking a woman, and this woman, Elsa, she's shunned by her family. She's very thin, she's very tall. They don't view her as strong. They tell her how often that she's weak and sickly, and her sisters ignore her. She sits in a corner in the living room a lot. It's pathetic. And then one day, Elsa gets up, walks to town with her own money, and yes, she buys red satin, comes home, goes to her room, quietly, secretly, cuts the pattern, and makes a beautiful party dress to wear to the dance that's occurring that night in town. What happens to her at the dance? Well, she meets a fella, and from there, her entire life is changed. Now, Four Winds is historical in nature, as was The Women. Many of Hannah's novels are impeccably, historically accurate. She researches so much. She is an amazing woman. So in Four Winds, you are going to travel with Elsa through the Great Depression and the ghastly Dust Bowl in America. I thought I knew about the Dust Bowl, but when you live the Dust Bowl, when you've got that grit in your mouth day and night. You're choking on it. And your family members, very young and very old, can't breathe anymore. And every dish you take out of that cupboard is covered with dust. You can't take a drink of water without washing the cup out 3 times. It's underfoot. It's on the tables. It's everywhere outside. Killed all the crops. The people are starving. They are dying emotionally and physically. You are with them. That's Hannah's writing. And then Elsa takes her 2 children and she says, we have to go to California. And the journey was grueling. The journey was just about impossible. And she doesn't end there. It takes her a while. And you'll be with her in the shanty camps as she's picking cotton, vegetables, anything that the guild wants them to pick. Now, Elsa had never had a friend. Her sisters didn't even like her. Again, the protagonist is isolated, but she makes a friend for the first time in her life in the little shanty town with a wonderful woman, Jean. And this really ennobles both the women and gives both the women courage. They will share so much as a half a slice of bread with each other after they've given what they could to their children. And Elsa becomes involved with a magnificent man, and she finds love. So she does find love and friendship. And her journey is one you will never forget. And believe me, you have never known so much about the Depression and the Dust Bowl until Kristin Hannah puts real-life characters into those cauldrons. Now, you may be thinking, now why are we going to talk about Crime and Punishment, that old chestnut? Well, Fyodor Dostoyevsky wrote this book centered in Tsarist Russia about an isolated, starving student, so impoverished, so hungry, so depressed that he has a little bit of jewelry from his mom, and he takes this jewelry to an apartment of an old woman who is a pawnbroker. Now, she's not friendly, she's not kind, she's not sweet, she's not endearing, okay? What have you got? And let me see, and no, I'm not giving you any more than money on that than that. And so he sells a few things to her, right? Then he gets an idea. The idea foments for about 3 months. He's going to kill her. He wants her money and he wants her stuff. He wants to fence it himself. And he fights the idea. He's never killed. He's never done such a thing. His back is to the wall. He's not thinking in a sane fashion, to say the least, but you are with him. Just like you are in Hannah's books, every step of the way. You feel what he feels. The interior of his mind is so aptly presented by Dostoyevsky. Now, what he does is he goes to the neighbors and he steals a hatchet from the barn. And then he fashions a sling, which he wears on his arm, and puts his tattered waistcoat over. And he walks to the pawnbrokers. Now, when he got there, she was talking. What do you have? Let me see. Give it to me. He's in the daze, and you're in the daze with him. He's actually stymied. He's, what am I doing? And then he pulls the axe out, and he uses on her the dull side. He whacks her a few times. She goes down. She's dead. He immediately, he's agitated, but he wants to get stuff and run out. So he is grabbing things, shoving them in his pockets. Who walks in but the pawnbroker's sister, who is so horrified she can't even scream. And this time, when he picks up the axe, he uses the sharp side. Boom, boom, she's done. She's dead. He, at this point, hears voices down below. There are several stories up. And he runs for his life. And fortunately for him, there was an open door to a ground floor apartment, and he hid behind the door. The police came in, the police came out, and he goes home undetected. Now, when he gets home, he's not elated. He isn't anything except confused, exhausted, and very fearful. He knows the police are out there looking, and he's terrified to the bottom of his guts. of being caught. But he's not caught. In fact, Dostoyevsky plays with us a little. The police show up, but they're checking on a minor issue. But my point here is, it's a mind game. It's all about how your conscience can become your enemy. And you do writhe in agony with him. And then what happens? Dostoyevsky turns the story, and through a woman friend, Raskolnikov, changes and becomes repentant and becomes immersed in the thought of wanting to confess and pay his price to society. So I hope you read The Women. I hope you read Four Winds. You'll love these books, and you'll be fascinated because, Crime and Punishment is such a classic. It's so powerful. If you like this video, and I hope you did, please press like and subscribe. Thank you.